welcome to this edition of Your Questions Answered. And today's question is, of course, is Jesus God? And then the follow-up or the idea of the question is, how can God come out of a woman's womb? And the question basically is God able to enter into his own creation? I mean, that's basically how we should look at the question. And if we read it, well, of course, reading the Quran, that God spoke to Moses, and also in the book of Exodus, that God spoke to Moses from a burning bush. And so there is this interaction or this of God speaking to Moses from a bush. And both Muslims and Christians accept that. And so we have the idea that God is entering into his own creation. He's interacting with his own creation. Now, the problem for the Muslims is if God is unable to enter into his own creation, that means he is unable to communicate with his own creation. He's unable to speak to prophets. And of course, we have another problem in the Quran where, as far as I am aware, that Allah does not speak directly to Muhammad, but he speaks, but it is rather the angel Gabriel who speaks to Muhammad. But of course, then how does Gabriel know what to say to Muhammad except that Allah must somehow communicate with him? If we take a look at what Allah is, a single monad, this Allah is unable to even speak. He's a deaf mute and unable to relate to anything to his own creation. In fact, the idea of a single monad, I think, is logically impossible. So that's just a brief answer to this question: is God able to enter into his own creation? Or as the poster has put it, how can God come out of a woman's womb? In John chapter 1 verse 14, it says, "The Word became flesh and dwelt among us." In other words, God the Son, the Word, pitched his tent and lived among men. Again, thanks for watching. Have a great day, and may God bless.